So, what might it mean when a child is deeply curious and self motivated, even without pressure or rewards or reminders?
Right. That's every parent's dream, right? To see
Right.
your kid reading a book and intrigued with the topic and asking questions and saying, Mommy, take me to the airplane museum. I want to know how aviation works. Mommy, take me to the library for more books on pandas. You know,
Right.
right? Kids are curious by nature. And I think that's some of the beauty of loving that, 2.5 to 5-year-old age range is because the curiosity, it has no limits, right? They're not nervous of their peers' pressure. They're not nervous of whether their parents will let them do it or not. They're just gonna do it. They love pandas because they love pandas and they want to be a panda for Halloween and they want to get all the panda things for Christmas. And, you know, let's plan a trip to China, right?
Right.
And how do you try to nurture your children's interests without it being too overwhelming for you as a parent, but also knowing that they are naturally curious about something and they want their brain is hungry for more information, right? Yeah, because sometimes, I mean, the evil little socioeconomic status that tears all parents' hearts off when you're like, "Okay, well, maybe I can't plan a trip to China." You know? Maybe that's not possible until 10 years down the road, and then we've got other bills to pay. So that's another thing that parents are, that's it's related, but it's not related. Causation and correlation, right? Okay, okay. With finances, but for some of our kids, they want to learn more and maybe their parents can't offer that because the parent works late hours and they have someone else who I think of LA specifically, a lot of languages and with some parents at home speaking a different language and at schools a different language and not able to necessarily pursue what you're inherently interested in because the resources aren't there. And that's one of the sad parts about education is we know not all of our students have access to all the resources that they what we want them to have access to. Um yeah. And just so yeah, it's trying to pick up on your child's cues, that communication, you know? They want you
Right.
to read the same book over and over again because something in that book is really exciting to them, you know? So let's read that book over and over again. It's okay. Tomorrow
Right.
they might want a different one. Yeah.
Right. And I think you bring up a good point that is, maybe you don't parent at a young age doesn't see that as motivation, intrinsic motivation. They're like, oh my gosh, we're reading this book
Mm,
again. But you're right. That could be that's showing whatever it is, whatever the topic is, right? That is something that interests them that they want to learn about. And you're right. In the early childhood classroom, we do that. Like, if a child is really interested in dinosaurs or cars or whatever it is, then we're going to use that to build our counting skills. We're going to use that to do all kinds of things because it's something that motivates them. And I think you're right. In a lot of children, it is a work to find that and build it. Whereas what was shown in these studies, in the systematic review and in a number of studies, is that is something that gifted children do tend to demonstrate is a high level of intrinsic and self motivation that's just naturally there, right? They are naturally motivated to want to learn more, to go and get that information, to want to do well.